Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast episode 42 for Tuesday the 3rd of November 2020. I'm your host Mark Webb, gamer tag Pearson ID Steam ID Webby 360G, and joining me on this fine evening is
Future Hall of Famer, Mr. Peebs.
Peebs and Dan, the one and only. See you later.
Oh, it's a bit of a different crew this week. I like it when we mix it up a little bit. Peebs.
What do you mean different? What do you mean different? I'm still here.
Well, yeah, but Peebs is here.
Yeah, I've done quite a few podcasts lately.
Yeah, but it's like...
Maybe not the last couple of weeks, but...
Yeah, but it's just me, Dan, and Peebs. It's never just us three, ever.
It's like a weird party chat, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, Peebs is still playing video games, isn't he? He's still playing with Colin at the moment.
No, he's all come off now. I'm committed. I've come off.
Well, I jumped on COD with you for a game yesterday, and then I got told off for playing Call of Duty in front of Marcus.
Well, I'm not surprised it is.
So I've had to move my PC upstairs now.
Yeah, but won't he just come up and watch you play in there instead?
Yeah, but if my missus don't see it, it's fine, right?
Well, COD's not that bad, is it? I mean, yeah, I guess it's got killing in it, but it's not like gory as such.
Oh, no.
Like some games.
Yeah, he doesn't really pay much attention, to be honest. He'll stand there and watch for about a minute and then get bored and walk off anyway, so...
Bad COD then.
Yeah, well, because I was playing a bit of Watchdogs earlier, and then he walked in, and my missus was like, "Don't let him watch you play that." So it's fine. It's Watchdogs. I'm just running around London. It's all right. But the good thing about my PC being upstairs now is there's no background noise when I'm recording the podcast, which is quite nice.
Oh, I thought your software was finally working.
Well, my software is working, but I think it was still picking up some stuff.
Yeah, it was. And we can hear everything.
But now I'm in a room. I've closed the door, and it's great.
Cool.
Living the dream. Man cave. It's
my whole flat's a man cave.
But anyway, I've got some big news this week. Yeah, so I need to give a big shout out to our resident community member, Mr. Hogarth, who let me know that the RTX 3080 graphics card that I've been after for 5-6 weeks now, it went up for sale, and it was only available for about 3 minutes, and I managed to nab one, and it got delivered.
Wow!
On Friday. So
the end of an epic.
I'm proud of you, man. Of an era of trying to acquire this fucking graphics card.
You can at least sound more excited about it.
I'm tired, but I was just going to get into a bit more of a story here. So I was having a bit of a day. So a bit earlier in the day, I managed to find one on Amazon. And I'd ordered it on Amazon, but it was quite expensive, 720 quid. And the base price for the Founders Edition, which is the one that I really wanted, is 650. So that's the one that went on. So I ordered that one, and I got it confirmed, and they charged me and all that stuff. But Amazon hadn't charged me for the other one, so I thought, I'll cancel the Amazon one. It's fine. But anyway, because I'd ordered the one on Amazon, I'd told one of my mates about it as well. So he'd ordered the card off Amazon. So he's all excited, our resident Dudley Dubs. And he's like, yeah, I've ordered it, I can't wait for Friday, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, have you been charged yet? He's like, no. I said, Amazon don't usually charge until they're about to ship it. Anyway, came Thursday night, and he's messaging me, and he's like, I've been charged. Friday comes, and his order had been changed from delivery on Friday to just sometime in the future.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So he did the live chat with them, and they basically just said to him, "Oh, you must have ordered it after they'd sold out, and we hadn't had time to take it off the website, and we don't know when we're getting any more in." Blah blah blah. So he's well gutted, and the even more gutting thing is because he asked me to let him know if the Founders was available. So when Hogarth messaged me the link to get the Founders Edition, I straight away copied it and pinged it to Dave on WhatsApp. Anyway, so I was frantically ordering mine and got it confirmed and all that, and he hadn't replied to me, and I'm like, what's going on? Half an hour later, he texts me back, Oh yeah, I was out for lunch with my mum and I didn't look at my phone. Gutted. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mad dash to try and get these cards because they don't do any. Like with the consoles, you get they do some decent pre-ordering, whereas these cards just went live and then it's just a bum rush to try and find them. So there's people setting up bots and stock checkers and all the websites, so they get no notifications as soon as they appear. Um, so that's kind of, I think that's what Hogarth had set up, and obviously he told me. So yeah, I was well happy because it was a bit of a thing where I'd ordered it and I was like, am I actually going to get it? I don't know. Blah blah blah. Then when I got the confirmation it's going to get delivered, I was like, yes. Ah, yeah,
So, is it any good?
yeah, it's brilliant.
So, is it better than your last card? I don't understand these
Yes.
things. So,
Um,
try to convey with someone who doesn't know anything about these.
Well, so my old card was kind of the mid-range of last generation cards. So it was a 2070 Super, and then after that you got the 2080 Super, and then you've got the 2080 Ti, which was the top of the range one. So then with this gen, they've just released the 3070, and you got the 3080 and the 3090. So the 3070 is kind of the mid range. The 3880 is kind of your enthusiast one, and then the 3090 is just your mega expensive super enthusiast card. So just to put it in perspective, my card is kind of double the power of the top end 2080 Ti of last gen.
Right.
So it's this card is like more than double the power of the Xbox Series X, which is awesome. And then you got the 3090, which is just fucking insanely nuts. It's really meant for 8K. So Hogarth has the 3090 and he's just loving life right now. So yeah, I mean I'm loving life. It's nice to be playing games with all my ray tracing. I'm loving it. Loving it. Loving it.
I still haven't got a fucking clue you fucking talked about there. He said double the power of this, blah blah blah, ray tracing, loving it, loving it. You haven't even mentioned any games you've played yet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because I was getting to that. So
okay.
so the main game, obviously, it came free with the card was Watchdogs.
Okay. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
bonus.
Watchdogs Legion. So I've been playing that, and I've been enjoying it. So there's a lot of pluses and a lot of minuses with Watchdogs, and I think Peebs has been playing it on the Xbox as well. So I will be quite keen to listen to what he has to say about it in a minute.
Indeed.
First of all, a couple of the positives. It looks amazing. The graphics are absolutely brilliant. And I have to say, Dan, I know you're going to hate me. The ray tracing looks awesome as well.
I don't hate you. It's just I don't know what the fuck ray tracing is
So
properly.
it's just all the. So it's just all the. So it's real time reflections, right? So
Okay.
So like in normal games.
So basically, there's puddles everywhere.
So there's puddles, and you see reflections in the windows and all that sort of stuff. So basically, what it does. I know this is boring tech talk, so I'm going to make it as quick as possible. In normal games, the devs have to code in all the reflections in the game, if that makes sense. So,
like
if this thing's
does it
there,
real time.
yes. So they don't have to worry about it. It just the software knows where something is and it knows where it reflects it, right?
Yeah, I've got that much. Good.
So the cool thing is about it though is like in Watchdogs, it actually comes quite handy. So if you're in a like a fight or a battle, and you're near a window and you can see the reflections, you can see in the reflections if an enemy's coming up behind you, which is quite cool. It's just little things like that. It just adds to the immersion of the game. And another game that does it really well it's on Game Pass. It's called Deliver Us the Moon. I think quite a lot of people in the community have played this. So on the PC version, it has the ray tracing, and it's probably actually the best example of ray tracing that I've seen in a video game, it's done so well. It's basically going to space and you're on the space station. So obviously there's a lot of windows, etc., and the floors are all shiny, so you can really it really takes advantage of all those surfaces which would do reflections, and it just adds to the immersion. It looks so real. So yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. But yeah, just going back to Watchdogs. Um, I'm really liking the way that London is done in the game. It feels um pretty
Do we
much
know if
to
it's to
scale.
scale?
It feels to scale, but I'm not going to say it is because I don't know, and I've not
No.
looked up if it actually is. But one like a cool thing I did today, Peebs, was because I've been to the London Eye a lot and walked across the bridge to the Houses of Parliament from there. I went there in the game today,
Yeah.
and it just felt like like an actual representation of the real city.
Yeah. I
You know,
think
but
the main areas and some of the landmarks are definitely done to scale, but I'm not sure about every other like little street and that. I'm not so sure
yeah,
about that.
yeah. I'm sure the roads feel wider than what they actually are in real life as well,
Because
and there's a lot
was
less
it the old?
traffic.
Yeah. Remember the Getaway? Was it an old
Yes,
PS1 game?
Yeah.
Wasn't
PS2, I
that done
think.
to scale? Wasn't that? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
yeah,
think
much.
it
yeah.
was,
It
wasn't it?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really ahead of its time. The
And then
Yeah.
Getaway
there was
that was
Metropolis
amazing.
Street Racer as well on the Dreamcast. That was they mapped to central London off that, and obviously did all the road circuits on it. That was pretty sweet.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, as I said, from what I've heard, they have actually replicated London. But as you said, because it's set in the future, they've obviously been able to take some liberty in terms of
Yeah.
Landmarks and whatnot and buildings. But from what I've seen, it is pretty faithful to a degree.
Yeah. It
So we
is.
could reenact various pub crawls you've been on, I guess.
I mean, you go into the pubs and all the people are in there having pints and all the sounds you hear as you're walking around London, all the accents feel very realistic. When you're driving the cars, all the radio stations, it's all
Yeah, it's got
British
some
music.
like proper legitimate music, isn't it? The Libertines are on there, the Gorillas.
They've got footballs coming home.
Yeah, it's because I think it's an achievement for going around all the pubs and drinking a pint in each pub and playing darts in each pub.
Oh,
have you been doing that, Peebs?
Yeah, so I've been doing that. But little tip: play darts before you have a drink, not the other way around like I did. I went and had a pint and then went to play darts, and it's all wobbly.
That's brilliant.
And the darts game is quite. Have you played darts yet,
No,
Webby?
I haven't. No.
Oh, yeah, it's quite tricky. It shows you the dartboard, and then it's got like a circle that goes in and out, and then it moves around, and you've got to try and sort of aim it to where obviously you want to get like treble 20. But yeah, it's quite good, but it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it loads. I think I've done about 3 or 4 hours. I've not been able to sink a lot of time into it compared to what I've wanted to. But what I've found myself doing though is I've done some main missions, but all the map of London is set up into different sections, and in those sections you've got these side missions, which it's kind of like liberating the zone, but not really. It means it's just easier to recruit people in that sector because they're more likely to want to join your cause. So it's like it's all these missions that are kind of exposing this private militia which have been contracted to look after London like a private police force. And they've taken a lot of liberties, like they're spying on everybody with all the facial recognition and tracking your calls and everything.
It's like real
that.
life.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool because because initially I was thinking, oh, loads of different characters. Oh, that's going to be pretty meh. But actually, they all have different skills. They have different weapons. You can go into missions, in a lot of different ways, depending on which character you use, which is pretty cool. If you want to go in all guns blazing, just use a guy who's got a machine gun or whatever. But then you've got people, different technologies. You've got there was a worker guy I'd recruited. I think it's part of the main campaign anyway, and he has this this big drone which you can jump on and then you can fly it around. So that's quite helpful in a lot of the side missions. If you need to hack things that are, say, on the top of buildings, so there's a lot of different ways to go about doing the main missions and the side missions, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of the driving in the game, though. I think it's a bit janky, to be honest.
Yeah, going around the corners, I found the braking's is a bit weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on the PC, it's got a few performance issues as well. Like, I mean, what
performance issues on the PC?
Yeah, so what I'm finding is, like, when I'm just generally playing the game, like running around doing missions and that, it runs really nice, and then as soon as I'm driving around the city, it just kind of goes a bit stuttery every now and again, and it's just a little bit jarring at times, which is a little bit annoying. And also, I had this really funny glitch earlier. I'd stolen this car, which was like an old, it's like an old Aston Martin. So, oh, this car's cool. And then within about 30 seconds, I was driving it around, and then it kind of, the car had kind of glitched out, and then I was driving around with an invisible car. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Sounds like typical Ubi shite.
Yeah, I'll put a picture of it in the Discord. Let me see if I can put it on the stream. You can see it just completely vanished. So yeah, it was just like, oh, that's a bit annoying. And I've seen on Reddit that it's that typical launch of a Ubisoft game where it's an open world and it's full of glitches. I've seen pictures with people like where their heads have disappeared and all sorts of things. So I'm pretty sure it'll be patched out at some point, but it's just a little bit frustrating. But apart from that, it's a game that I'm definitely going to finish. I think it's really, really fun. But I feel that it might get a little bit repetitive later on. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I mean, what's your thoughts, Peebs? I think you've played it a bit more than me.
No, I think I put about 6 or 7 hours into it. I mean, I wasn't even going to pick it up. Did it come out Thursday? And I went on Friday. I was on a day off from work, and I was pretty bored. And I thought, I know I mentioned last time on the podcast I've been looking for my next big sort of game to get into.
Yeah,
I haven't really found one, and I just went out to Tesco's and bought it, which is the first time I've actually bought a physical game for about a year. I think the previous one was the previous FIFA.
Did you buy Was it Man-Eater?
That was digital. I've bought plenty of games, but they've been digital. This was the first physical disc that I went out and actually bought, because I kept looking on. I looked on the store and it was like £10, and it was extra. So it was £60 digitally.
Wow,
for the basic version, and I bought it for 50 in Tesco. So it saved me a tenner. And I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll try and rinse it in the next few months, and then take it to CEX and trade it in.
Well, you've got to be quick with Ubisoft, because they do sell their digital games very quickly thereafter. So expect deals and bargains on CD keys very, very soon.
Yeah. I thought about waiting, but then obviously you've got Valhalla is out in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also the new Call of Duty. So I'll definitely buy the new Call of Duty. Valhalla, which I definitely want, but I'll probably wait till I'm done with Watchdogs. Depends how much time Watchdogs takes. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you really have to have played the previous two, do you? I mean,
No,
I played the first Watchdogs ages ago, and I'd never even finished it, and I quite liked it. It was a bit clanky. I ended up I wanted to finish it, but I ended up deleting it because it was taking up too much space. So I deleted it, meaning to go back to it, but I haven't. But obviously, this one, with it being set in London, it's a big open world, bit like GTA type, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I fancy it. So yeah, and I'm impressed, like you say, with the radio stations, and we can explore, and the graphics are good. The thing that sort of annoys me is some of the characters are a little bit random. Like
they are.
You went meet a guy, and he's got a Cockney accent, but he looks Oriental. He's got a black beard and ginger hair, and it just looks so ridiculous. I thought,
mate, have you been to there's various? Have you been to Hackney, mate?
well, yeah, I suppose you could get some people who do look like it, but it just felt a bit odd and weird. But
well, I think the characters are all randomly generated designs, you know.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think they've actually put much effort into maybe some of the main characters, but some of the others are just randomly. It just randomly comes up with anything, you know.
Yeah.
Mismatch of every mismatch. Because I think it's probably just too many characters and it'd probably take too much time to. But I started off with is it like an Irish guy who's been kicked out of the army or something? The guy I picked first.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you've got a selection of about 10 characters to start off with, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
You pick.
I picked like this MI5, this ex-MI5 guy, and they had a really big mustache, so I just picked him because he looks really funny and he had a cool backstory.
But yeah, it's like one of the main missions is you get that construction guy, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you but you can go to shops and buy new clothes and stuff, so you can dress them up differently. Because like obviously you just look a bit stupid going around with that yellow hard hat on.
Yeah.
So let's go and get some different clothes and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be my main game now to put all my time into. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm still going to be working through lockdown, so I won't be able to get as much time on it as I thought I might have at one point. But
you're blessed, mate. Don't worry, you're blessed with that.
Well, yeah, you can't. Yeah, I can't, mate. To be fair,
you got a job, mate. That's the main thing.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I can't really. I've got nothing else to talk about it because I haven't played it enough, to be honest. But
they're advertising it a lot on TV. I keep seeing the adverts. It'd be interesting to see how well it sells.
Well, it's set in London, so I think it's
it's a key market, the UK, off the back of that.
Yeah. I'll be interested to know how many Americans buy it, to be honest. Because you know what Americans are like. If it's not set in America, they're not really interested, are they? So.
Well, we haven't got an American. We could have had an American today, but he bailed.
Well, he'd rather watch TV. Traitor. Yeah. There's no commitment to the cause with Colin, is there? There we go. All right, cool. Shall I talk about the games I've been playing?
Keep going, man.
All right, I'll okay, so before my graphics card turned up, I've been playing more Pillars of Eternity. This is on Xbox as well, I believe, on Game Pass. So I've been playing it on Game Pass on the PC. And it's a really good game, actually. I've pumped about 15 hours plus into it now, I think. Probably a bit more. Yeah, as I said last week, it's one of those. It's an isometric game, kind of like the view that you have with Diablo. I mean, this game's quite old now. It came out in 2015, and there is actually a sequel out as well. But I actually own the sequel, but I want to play this obviously and finish this before I play the sequel. And what I like about it, it's kind of very old school. Like those old late 90s, early 2000s kind of isometric RPGs that you don't really see much of anymore. It's very story heavy, but what I like about it is it's very mythical. It's very lots of spells, and it's very like the music's very Lord of the Rings, so it feels very epic at the same time. And you've got your different cast of characters. You've got elves and dwarves and all that sort of nerdy stuff that I really like. And it's super story heavy, and you can have up to 6 people in your party, and they all have different skills, etc. You can get a lot more characters than that. I'm not sure how many there are in total, but I think there's a hell of a lot. And you get to a point in the story where I'm not going to spoil it, but you acquire a mansion, and basically it's kind of derelict, and then you can spend money on doing it up, and then the characters that you aren't using just stay at your base of operations, so we say, at your mansion, and they can you can send them out on quests as well. So you can send them out on quests and they'll just do it in their own time. But whilst they're out on a quest, you can't pull them back into your party until their quest is finished. And their quest can take quite a while as well. And then you can build up the 4 fortifications as well, because it can get attacked by enemies. The dungeons are really, really cool. It's just a very old school, story heavy RPG. It's very pretty looking, and it just really sucks you in. It's the one thing I will say is the battles can be quite difficult if you're playing it on normal or above, because you can. So when you get into a fight,
You'll be playing it on easy, won't you? Like
I'm playing it on I am playing it on easy. It's quite hard and easy, to be honest. So basically, when you start a fight, the game automatically pauses, and you can set all your characters to do different moves, and then they just go and do it. And then they just kind of auto fights. It's kind of a weird battle system. So it takes a little while to get used to be honest. But it grows on you, and the thing that's just pulling me through at the minute is just I want to know what happens next. I want to know what happens in the main story. There's so many side missions in this as well, but they all have their own unique stories, and they can sometimes link into the main quests as well. The world map is quite big, and the cool thing is as well is like once you've unlocked areas on the map, you can just fast travel between them. But then when you click on that place, it will tell you, 15 hours. It's going to take you 15 hours to get to this place, and it kind of and it has a day and night cycle as well. And you can sleep and rest, and you can depending on the inn and what bed you have, you can pay more for a better room and a better bed, and it gives you better bonuses and all this sort of stuff as well. It's a really good game. I mean, I've been hooked on it. I've been playing it loads, but
cool.
Obviously, I've not been playing it the last few days because obviously Watchdogs. I wanted to play that, but yeah, this game is really, really good.
What are Chivos like?
I don't think they're. I mean, I've only unlocked a couple, and I've had a look at the achievements, and I think they're quite difficult, to be honest.
Webby, on your Xbox, you need to share your achievements, because I can never see your achievements to compare and stuff.
I need to sort that out. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
I probably haven't done that in a long time. Because all you probably see when I'm on Xbox is it's on Netflix, Amazon, Disney, or Plex.
Yep.
And that's not me, that's my missus. I'm always on my PC. But for some reason, it never shows what I'm playing on my PC. It always shows what it is, what I'm doing on my Xbox. And then if I put my Xbox to show me as offline, it also shows me offline on my PC, which is really weird. So, yeah, it's quite annoying, really. So, yeah, but cool, I'll do that. Okay. I have been playing some Rainbow Six Siege as well. And the reason I've been playing some Rainbow Six Siege is they've got this Halloween event going on at the moment. And it's actually pretty cool. It's called Sugar Fright. And basically, it's not like the main game of Rainbow Six at all. It's on one Halloween themed map, and your characters all have big, weird heads, and they look like goofy characters. And it's basically what's it like in COD? What's that game mode called in COD? Kill confirmed. It's like kill confirmed in COD. So it's not dog tags. You have to pick up their sweets. So the team with the most sweets at the end is the winner. And it's actually been a lot of fun. I've played it quite a lot this week. It's been a lot of fun playing it because it's just a bit goofy and a little bit of fun. And I love it when games do these Halloween events because it just breaks up the gameplay a little bit.
How old is this game now? They're still supporting it quite a bit then.
5 years old, actually.
Jeez, wow.
And they're still supporting it. Well, they just added Sam Fisher as a character about a month ago.
Yeah, because my son plays it a lot.
Is it on that Uplay that they subscribe? I suppose they need to keep it fresh in order to keep subscriptions up on that, I guess.
Well, so Rainbow Six itself is actually quite cheap now. You can buy it for about a tenner.
Okay.
But the way they make money is they do season pass every year, and the season pass is about 30 quid a year, and then that gives you more the new operators.
Okay.
But I have just been playing it with the bog standard operators because you can actually unlock the operators with the in-game currency you earn just through playing the game. So I actually unlocked quite a few just through playing it. But they're cheeky arseholes because when the new operators come out, they make them so expensive within in-game currency that the only way you're going to get them is to buy the season pass.
It sounds like what they did with Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, probably. But what I've done is, because I didn't realise I was getting this graphics card, which came with Watchdogs, two days beforehand, I signed up to Uplay Plus. So you only get this on PC. So what Uplay Plus does, it's like a bit like Game Pass or EA Access. And what it does is it gives you access to every single Ubisoft game, but it gives you access to every single Ultimate Edition of the game.
Wow, that's good value.
Yeah, it's $12.99 a month, so I don't actually think it's that great value compared to Game Pass. But yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, it depends if you like your military shooters, I guess, and Rayman.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, I thought it would be good value because you've got obviously Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed out within a few weeks of each other. But with Rainbow, obviously, it unlocks every single operator. So I thought, I've got the Uplay Plus. I'll play it and check out Sam Fisher, but I haven't checked out Sam Fisher because all I've been playing is this bloody Halloween event, and you only get an option of like 6 characters on the Halloween event. So the Halloween event is probably over now, so I'll go back on.
Sam will still be waiting for you, no doubt, with kisses.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, mate. So yeah, it's still a great game. It's really well supported, and what I like about Rainbow Six is it's quite tactical as well. It's not just like it's not like COD where you're just running and gunning. It's more slow paced, and you've got objectives to do. Like rescue hostages or disarm bombs, etc. So I quite like that style of gameplay. To be honest, I just wish I had actual people in the community to play with because no one seems to play it on the PC that I actually know. So I'm normally just jumping in with randoms, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's a great game. Oh yeah, because I got the new graphics card, I picked up Crysis Remastered because I wanted to. What?
What did we say about this the other week?
What?
Crysis. It's not really good. It's not really good. It's basically one of those show and tell games. It's like, look,
this is what I was going to say. So I was basically, I put it on just to see what settings I could run it on. Played it a bit, and then I was like, yeah, this game is shitty, boring. I don't know why people even like this game. It's pretty shit. So then I turned it off. That's all I wanted to say. Don't buy it.
We said this a week or so ago, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly that. I've always kind of like been a bit baffled about why Crysis is so bloody popular. It's just a snob's game.
It is. Yeah. Well, I didn't pay for it, mate, so it's fine. That's all I'm going to say. It's now been deleted.
Yeah, chucked in the bin. Chucked in the bin where it belongs.
And now you guys are going to call me a massive nerd now, but that's fine because I am a massive nerd. Okay. I have been playing quite a lot of Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh dear, nerd.
Euro Truck Simulator.
Well, I've actually owned American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh, there's a variation. Is it DLC?
But what I wanted to do was I wanted to decide which one I wanted to sink my time into. And but obviously with Euro Truck Simulator, you got obviously the greatest country in the world, Great Britain, and obviously Europe. And obviously in American Truck Simulator, you've got America. And I thought, okay, I'll check them both out. So anyway, I played quite a bit of Euro Truck Simulator 2 and was quite impressed with how large it was and how much fun I was having just cruising around. Well, the weird thing is, right, it has real life radio stations.
What, you actually tune in game on it?
Yeah,
okay.
Like Radio 1 or Absolute or whatever.
Absolute.
Yes. So
6 music.
It has loads of stations, mate. I was listening to some
LF6
tunes.
music on there. That's the only radio station I can listen to.
So anyway, so I was listening to some tunes, and I thought, oh, you know what? I haven't listened to any podcasts for months. I listened to some.
Are we on there?
No. So obviously, because I'm on my PC, I can just start a podcast and just listen to it and then put the game back on. So it's like in the background, a bit like how you run Spotify on the Xbox. It doesn't have a in-game, way of doing it. So you have to just turn the radio off in game and then just launch your podcast app on your computer. Yeah, so I was actually finding it really relaxing playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 and listening to a bit of Joe Rogan, which was really, really good, actually.
No one's ever said those words in a sentence ever.
Well, Peebs is a fan of the Joe Rogan podcast as well, so it's fine.
Yeah, but he's not a fan of fucking Euro Truck Simulator.
No, Peebs does it for real. So
it's like a job.
Yeah, I don't want to come home and play something I do in my job.
But what I want to say about it is so realistic. Like you'll sit in the cab, and it's literally you do everything.
You have to do your tacho and put your brakes and everything on. And
I mean, if you have it on super realistic, I just put it on, simple. So I still have to indicate to turn around, like to turn, and you have to stop at red lights and all that sort of stuff. And it's just cruising, but it's all you got the all the real roads, it's all mapped out, just shorter, if that makes sense. So you go on the M25 instead of it taking you like 5 fucking hours to get to Dover on the M25, whatever, it takes you about half an hour. So it's the real roads, but it's faster. Short, but it's
okay.
And so I was like, started. So the first one I did, I drove from Cambridge to London, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is going to take me a while, and it took me about half an hour. But it took me down all the kind of the real roads that you would go down in real life, just obviously squished. And I was enjoying it, thinking, oh, this is cool, and it's just so much of Europe. You can go on the ferry, cross over to France, and all this sort of stuff. I was thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to talk about some podcasts and just get shit for it, but I don't care. So I was enjoying it. It has all the real trucks, and then you can buy your own truck later on in the game and then customize it. And obviously, because you're on the PC and you can download mods, you can deck your cabin out with loads of geeky gaming stuff. So I've got like a Pac-Man bobblehead and Star Trek ship hanging off the windscreen and loads of other stuff. So you can have loads of anything you can think of.
Mate, I think we've lost him, Peeps.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's beyond redemption.
Anyway, so I was thinking, oh man, I'm really enjoying Euro Truck Simulator, but I need to go on American Truck Simulator and check it out. I want that experience of just trucking in America, So I launched American Truck Simulator, and the first thing I tested was the radio stations, and it's all American radio stations, and they're all live. And so I was like on like some hillbilly stations and some of the rock stations, and they're just full of adverts. You get about 2 minutes of music and about 10 minutes of adverts. So what the fuck's going on?
Same with American telly. It's usually adverts for drugs as well. Ask a pharmacist about this. We don't tell you what it does, but ask a pharmacist about it. If you've got like a slight, if you're worried about bowel problems, talk to your pharmacist and have a shit.
But what I found quite strange about American Truck Simulator is I was thinking, oh, this game's going to be huge. It's America, massive landmass. It's just a few states on the West Coast, and that's it.
Really?
I was like, gutted. Really? I was so gutted. I was thinking, the map in Euro Truck Simulator 2 is much bigger. What the fuck is going on here?
It's weird, isn't it?
Anyway, so I played a little bit of American Truck Simulator, and then I was just like, it's literally everything's the same. The menus are the same. Like, everything's the same, apart from it's in America. I was thinking, why isn't it all just in one game? I don't understand this.
More money, mate.
Yeah, so anyway, I played about half an hour of American Truck Simulator and then decided Euro Truck Simulator 2 is the game for me. So
these simulation games are quite popular, though, aren't they?
Oh, they're super popular, and I know people think they're really nerdy, and you're right, they are. But it's something. especially during COVID, is something quite soothing about just being able to
freedom,
even though it's virtually just get out and hit the road. It's very relaxing. I don't know what it is, just listening to my podcast, because the only time I listen to podcasts is when I'm traveling to work and back, and obviously I've been working from home since February. So this is just kind of my little just relaxing driving, listen to some podcasts.
Do you, it's in theory, drive to the office in your game before you start work?
No.
You actually do then? You go to sort of like, I don't know, a warehouse, pick up a crate of goods and then deliver it to us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
One big old fetch quest, isn't it?
Yeah. No, so it's basically you got jobs, and then they tell you how much they're going to pay you, and then when it launches in, you're at the pickup location, and the trailer's already on, and then you drive it to the destination, and then you got different difficulty, so you can have it. So you get more XP if you park it at the actual loading bay, and it can be quite difficult to obviously park, a truck, because you turn one way and your trailers go in the other, and you're trying to work it out, blah blah blah. And then you've got like easy mode, which is basically I'll just drive over there, mate, and stop. That's fine. And then you've got super nub mode, where it's basically just press this button and it's done. But that's no XP, so I'll go for the middle one, which is a little bit of XP. I haven't. I've tried the hard one, and I found it I find it a bit hard. So I'm working my way up to that at the moment. Yeah.
And this is a PC only game, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Keep it.
But it's weird because it's like, because I'm playing with my Xbox controller, and the right thumbstick is to move your head around the cabin, so you're checking all your mirrors and everything, because you've got to check the traffic, and it's it's you got to stick to your speed limits, or and if you hit a speed camera and you're speeding,
so boring.
Yeah. So but it's relaxing, but most people probably find it super boring. And the last game I've been playing a little bit of is some more Flight Simulator.
Oh God!
Oh, for God's
sake! You've peaked at middle age too early, mate.
I know. But the thing is, it's a lot of the stuff I've been playing is basically I want to test my graphics card out on as many games as possible. This has been one of them as well. So I've been enjoying this, and obviously I've been playing some Tarkov, but I think you're all bored
we don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I played other games, but I've forgotten. But that's going to be me for this week. And if I remember anything else later, I'll let you know. That's me done. So you let the piss taking commence. It's fine. I know I'm a geek.
I think we've already said our piece on it, and I think the listeners have made up their own minds. I mean, some of them probably enjoyed that. Yeah. Is anyone in the is anyone actually in the chat said anything? No. Oh, Clarky says murdered any hitchhikers.
Not yet. Well, what's quite funny, if you look at our Discord group, I have spotted 2 people in our community also playing Euro Truck Simulator. So I'm not the only one.
Brilliant. He also adds, Webby has been playing that game called Finding the Settings, or Fiddling with the Settings. Yeah.
Well, that's the first thing you do when you get a bit of new tech.
Well, you just need to switch it on. But, I'd rather something fucking work when I switch it on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, no more upgrades for me for a while. Anyway,
how long do you expect for this graphic card to last for then?
I am hoping. This is what I'm hoping. I want to make it last the next console generation.
Okay, so we're looking at 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah, because obviously it's more powerful than a Series X. So in theory, I should be fine, because obviously all games are pretty much made to console spec, right? But I know what I'm like with the new Shiny, so I want it to last about 5 years, but we'll see if I actually make it.
Bit like a car then.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, my car is actually 15 years old, so I've done all right with that.
Okay, well, that's good news.
Yeah, we'll see.
Does it still have a tape deck?
No. A CD player, man.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Yeah, I know. But I have a Bluetooth adapter in it so I can listen to my podcasts. I'm so with the times. Yeah, so my next PC upgrade is probably going to be a new motherboard and CPU in the next few years, I think. So that's going to cost me a little bit of money. So we'll see.
Right, anyway, now we got rid of the nerds. Let's be talking about. So let's see what Peebs has been doing, I guess.
Yeah, come on, Peebs.
Well, we'll start off with some bad news.
Oh no.
Gears Pop servers are closing.
Oh,
I didn't see you reply to the Facebook post about that.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to pile in.
It sort of passed me by a little bit. I didn't because I don't go in Discord that often. And to be fair, I never saw it on Facebook.
On the Facebook. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but someone put it in the Discord, but I hadn't noticed, and on the Facebook, and I hadn't noticed. I had a DM come through from someone. I can't remember who it was now. And it said, "Oh," and it sent me the link to the announcement. I was like, "Oh, what?" But to be fair, I hadn't been playing it for a while. I sort of lost interest in it. It was I'd got all the achievements I could probably get without spending tons of money, and
did you spend money on the game, Peebs?
No, I think I spent. No, I think I did once spend. I think it was a $5 a while back, and I did say in the podcast at the time it didn't help me in any way.
Because I was just thinking, because it's been shut down, if you've spent money on it, can you ask for that money back now?
I think only if it's in a certain period, but it doesn't actually close till April, so there's still.
Oh, okay.
Still about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But the only good thing is actually they've like when you get your drops and that, they're quite hard, but now they're going to make the drops a lot more easier and things, and I'm hoping they're going to like let it get easier to rank up, and they've already upped some of the things like how much money you get and that now. They've upped that, so I'm hoping I might be able to get a few more achievements out of it now.
What I wanted to ask Peebs is, have you seen why they're shutting it down? Is it just because it's not been very popular, or
no? I think it's still popular. I think it's because they just said it. I don't know who make it. I don't know what other games they do, but
because the guys who made Fall Guys, I read.
Oh yeah, because I think it is a British developer, and I think they're just saying because they're doing other things, and it actually takes quite a lot of time to update this and fix the bugs. And
I think they just said leave it as it is and just not update it anymore.
Well, I don't know, but that's the reason they're giving.
Well, if it's the Fall Guys devs, I can actually understand that because Fall Guys is become so popular, and they're always updating it, adding. I mean, that game is adding new levels and game modes all the bloody time. So
so that's probably one of the reasons, and perhaps they're putting all their time and effort into that now.
I mean, that's a game I still play quite a lot, and I always forget to mention it on the podcast for some weird reason. I love Fall Guys.
I do, but it just means I have to boot up my PlayStation for it all the time. It's just it's a shame it's a PS exclusive or PC and PlayStation, because if it was on Xbox, I think I'd be playing it a lot. I went on it a little while back when the season 2 came out, just to have a little look. I still find it difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not the only one, mate.
But yeah, I mean, there's still. I think Gears Pop is still popular. Like I mentioned a while back that obviously we had our own clan. I think we had about 30 odd members in it, but no one was really active in it apart from 3 or 4 of us. So it was quite hard to get games. So I think it was Rusky found another clan, and then a few of us from our clan went into that.
Yeah,
and that's got 50 members in it, and it's they've got their own Discord chat, and they're constantly organising, people to go on there, so that there is a lot of people playing it from that clan. So yeah, it's still popular, and I've picked it up again and just started playing it, and I'll just keep trying to get a few more achievements until obviously the servers close, and then just delete it. But because on my phone, because I've got an Android Samsung, and you put all your games into a folder, and it tells you how many hours you've put into it. I've put 50 hours into Gears Pop.
Wow. For £5.
That's a hell of a lot.
That's what I mean. That's what I did. I wasn't that. I mean, I don't normally pay for games for these pay-to-win games, especially mobile. I just thought, I've had a lot of time, put a lot of hours into it, just give them some back type thing. support the developer and whatnot. But I'd imagine someone like Rusky, he must have doubled that because he's on it constantly. And I reckon I don't know if he's in the chat, but I reckon he's paid. He reckons he hasn't, but I reckon he has. People just don't want to admit to it, do they? But I reckon he has.
That's sitting on the toilet.
Yeah. Well, I think people like I think he commutes to work and stuff, so people you just play it when you're sat on the train or on the bus or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, great little game. But yeah, if people are going to pick it up, get it now, and then you ain't got long left.
Chivo whore it and leave it.
Yeah. Still, I won't mention it too much, but still playing Warzone, and they're similar to Rainbow Six Webby. They've done a Halloween event.
Yes.
So we've been rinsing that, and that's quite good actually. They've got a blueprint so that you can get a new gun, but you've got to go and find all the chests, and they're scattered around the map. So we've been spending a bit of time doing that. I think there's 16 chests altogether. You collect them all, and then it gives you a pumpkin. Is it called the pumpkin bashel? So it's like a bright orange gun that you can get. And also they've been doing a mode where it's the same map, but it's done at night time, which is quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got like a zombie mode where when you die, you turn into a zombie, and then you go around the map trying to kill people. But you can actually, I think it's if you collect two what do you call them? Bloody syringe things that you can turn back into your operator. So yeah, still putting a lot of time into that. Can't wait for the new Call of Duty. I think the Warzone's going to be. Yeah, I think so.
Did you play much? Did you play in the beta at all? The new COD?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. Yeah, it seemed pretty good. They had a Miami Ocean Drive map. Yeah, sort of set in the 80s Cold War type, Reagan type era. Looks pretty cool. And that's going to have zombies, obviously your multiplayer, your single player campaign, and then I think they're going to integrate the Warzone, so you can still play your Warzone through it. So I think it's going to be worth the money.
Because what they've done with Warzone on, it's a separate download now. So I think it's the same on console. So I've uninstalled the single player and the normal multiplayer on Call of Duty, and I just have Warzone installed.
Yeah.
Which is good. So from my point of view, it's like, well, everyone I know only plays Warzone, so there's no point on spending 50 quid on the new COD just to play the campaign and then to uninstall it again, you know?
Yeah.
So, am I thinking they're keeping Warzone going but enhancing it with the new elements of the new COD? Is that what they're doing?
Well, I think in Warzone they'll just add, like, if you've bought the game, you can have the newer characters and maybe some other perks, maybe.
Okay.
Because I think they make quite a lot of money from Warzone because people buy those season passes and all that.
Well, it kind of makes it's a bit odd, really. You make this game, I suppose, with this giant map, and you ditch it after a year. I mean, with no real kind of backup.
Yeah, this is going to carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still real popular. And...
So I was getting worried. I was wondering what Colin and his kids were going to play.
Well, he doesn't have to buy any more games, does he? He just play this forever. Job done.
Yeah. Ad infinitum.
I noticed because I still want paying for this actually because it was my idea. The gamer score leaderboard, you know, that they have on the Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when we first started podcasting and I actually came up with that idea and then it happened. I still never got any payment for it. But yeah, obviously, I'm always quite interested to see who's on there and what they're getting. I do follow a YouTube walkthrough guy, and he's always top because obviously I think he's like quite a high-end streamer type, so he's probably just full-time job, so he's always doing walkthroughs for achievements and stuff. So he's always pretty much at the top.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see like out on my friends who's on there. And I noticed Hogarth was like rinsing loads of easy gamer score games.
Oh, was he now?
Yeah, secret Chivo whore. So anyway, I messaged him. I says, "What are you playing at? You Chivo whore." And he's like, "Yeah, there's this. It's finished now, but last month they were doing the Hall of Fame, gamer score thing.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it was working, but I know there was on your you could get your points thing for searching on Bing and all the rest of it. When you go on your dashboard, you can turn all your quests in, and they're all like little points and stuff. Well, they had one that it was worth. I can't remember how many points. I think it was worth 10. No, I don't know now off the top of my head. Anyway, people know what I'm talking about who were into it.
Well, Hogarth just said he was doing it for a £10,000 reward.
That's it. It was a 10,000 points reward which you can use on the Microsoft Store and stuff. But you had to earn 10,000 gamer score within a month. So everyone, was trying. So it was quite difficult. So obviously everyone's searching YouTube to see what are the easiest games you can get achievements on. So everyone was playing like all the easy achievement games.
Avatar, King Kong.
Yeah, but there's quite a few. There's a few YouTube guides that show you like all the easiest ones that are on Game Pass from like which is the easiest to the hardest. So I did a bit of that. So I actually fell back into my old Chivo whoring trap.
Oh no!
How's your marriage?
I didn't because I only because I sort of was late to the party. I just didn't have enough time. I think I got about 4,000 game score when I didn't have enough time. But yeah, so I sort of was rinsing a few like easy games that felt cheap and dirty.
Go on. Let's go for the list.
Let's get me list up. Let me just not that prepared.
This is great research. I mean, the listeners are getting a lot out of this. In case anyone wants to do achievement hiring in the future, you're getting tips on the pro here.
Yeah, let me just get my achievement. Where's my achievement list gone? Bear with me. I'll just see all my achievements.
Maybe you might want to edit this bit.
That's fine. I don't mind if people know.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
Oh yeah.
Which is only 10 achievements. I didn't know much about this game. It's like
it's good.
It's like a walking simulator type game, where you sort of go around. I think you're like this little girl, and you're just trying to find out what happened to your family by going in their rooms and reading their diaries and stuff. This is the trouble.
It is good.
Stalker simulator, then.
But this is the trouble, you see, because I was Chivo whoring, following guides. I'm not actually paying much attention of what the actual game, what's happening in the actual game, and that's the downside because I can't really tell you what the game's about, really, because I'm just concentrating on the achievements and following a guide. So yeah, it's not good in that way. And the worst one is Surviving Mars. Now that's a 1,500 gamer score, and there's apparently a little. Well, I did use it. It's a little hack that you can get 1,000 gamer score in literally 2 minutes, which I did. So yeah, I got 1,000 gamer score on that one, but it's set only at 67% because there's still 500 game score to get, but you need to purchase the DLC, which I'm not going to do. So, what else? I think Tacoma.
Oh yeah, that's pretty decent as well.
It's
actually,
have you played that, Webby?
Yeah, I played it ages ago.
It's a weird game. It's like set in space, aren't you? A spaceship type thing.
But it's like there's no fighting or anything like that. It's basically just wandering around, and then there's like the space station's recorded what's happened because all the people have disappeared, and it's like these holograms of conversations and people walking around and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, so I got a 4,000 on that one.
Yeah, Hogarth has just said that he got 2,000 on it because he played it on the on Surviving Mars. Sorry, because he played the PC version as well.
Yeah.
So 10,000 gamers, 10,000 points. How much is that exactly? Is that 10 quid?
I think it's roughly about 8,000 points is a fiver, give or take a bit.
So, bit of perspective.
To be fair, if you search Bing every day on your mobile, on your PC, you get points for playing games, to turning in quests. They all add up, because when I bought FIFA last month, I managed to get £25 off it just through my Microsoft doing these things.
Well, your Bing searches.
Decent.
Yeah, so...
What do you look up on Bing?
If you...
Porn.
Yeah.
No, because I actually quite like the Bing search page. When it comes up, it's got like little links to all sorts of news articles. You just click on them and that's it. You get 3 points just for like clicking on it and having a look. So I know quite a lot of people in the community do it, and some people are on like, because you get bonus points for streaks. So if you're on a week streak, you're getting 150 points, and then if you get to a 10-week streak, you get 4 points. Some people I know in the community are on like nearly a year, like, and they're worried that it might crash and lose their points. But I get up to about 25, 30 quid, and then I will spend it on a game. So
that's pretty decent.
So I mean, you save it up for a few months, and it's worth doing. So you just got to remember to do it every day, otherwise you lose your streak.
It's like real life dailies.
Well, Clark is up to 265 days. Wow,
that's impressive. Yeah, there's the odd day where I forget, and then I'm back to square one again.
Yeah.
So, what else have I been playing? I actually played Tell Me Why.
Okay, well, I've seen a few people playing that.
Well, it's a Microsoft game, isn't it? And it was on Game Store. I didn't really know nothing about it, to be quite honest. But I just thought, I know these sort of games, a bit like The Life is Strange, they're quite good for achievements.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that. And I actually quite enjoyed it. It's again, there seem to be a lot of these sort of games at the minute where there's no sort of action in them as such. You just walk around,
it's like
looking
an interactive movie sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of these sort of games, isn't there? And yeah, it's quite an interesting story. It's about these two young kids, and their mother. They're trying to find out what happened to their mother. Well, they know that she died. I don't really want to spoil it, so it's quite hard to explain without spoiling. But they're just sort of journey trying to retrace things and find clues about what happened to their mother and what sort of illness she had. And I think one of the sort of main things in the game is they were both twin. Well, I think they're twins. Daughters, but then one of them is trans. I think that's the right word. So there's that sort of story in it as well. It's about how the mother dealt with it and stuff. So it's quite a intriguing story and sort of relevant, I guess, at the minute with all this sort of hoo-ha about all these sort of things. So I actually quite enjoyed it. I actually thought it was a good story. Achievements wise, it's a 1500 because it's just like a episodic. So I think there's 3.
Oh, okay.
There's only 3 in this one. I think Life is Strange was 6. I think, but yeah, it's three parts.
So is it done by the same devs or is it a separate?
I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like it is because it's a similar type graphic wise, and the characters models are pretty much the same as Life is Strange, but I actually quite liked it. But again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's like, I know Collie doesn't. It's a bit like, he doesn't like the Heavy Rain type games where you the interactive stories type, and there's no sort of action in them as such. But yeah, it's not an overly long game either. So, and it's on Game Pass. So
nice.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. I've finished Battletoads at long last.
Woohoo! Is it better than Streets of Rage? Come on.
Don't say it is.
Well, I think the difference with Battletoads is I give them credit, is they try and break it up. So obviously the first few levels are like side-scrolling beat 'em up, like Streets of Rage. But instead of the whole game's not like it, they try and break it up. There's like little missions where there's driving missions. I mean, granted, they're not the greatest, but it just breaks it up. And then there's like interactive quick time events and things. So
none of them are welcome.
They've done quite well, and I quite liked it. The only downside is there's a lot of co-op achievements, but it's couch co-op. There's no online, and I think there was a trick there because I think it would have been quite a good game because there's 3 toads. It would have been quite good if you could play three player online co-op. That would have been a lot better, I think. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I don't know the last time I was, but I have bought the latest FIFA.
FIFA. Is this one getting some slack this year?
Well, they always seem to get a lot of grief, don't they, for some reason or another. It's FIFA 21. It's this, they're always the same. They don't really change much. The sort of skins and the menus change a little bit.
Do you get into the Ultimate Team?
I do like the Ultimate Team, but again, I've never paid real money for it. I do it through grinding, the in-game currency.
Because a lot of people spend a lot of money on that, and then obviously the new game comes out and it's kind of all wasted because you have to start again.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, it's people do it, yeah. But there's some people, it's a bit like with Call of Duties, they'll buy an Xbox or a PlayStation. They don't play any other games. All they play is FIFA or Call of Duty. Some people, you look on some people's profiles, they've been on Xbox Live for 15 years and they've got like 100 game score because they just constantly play the same games. And obviously with multiplayer on Call of Duty, they've never had any online achievements for their multiplayer. So they don't even play the campaign.
Wow.
They just get it straight onto the multiplayer.
I have to say, the graphics on FIFA looks good. It looks very realistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's quite a bit of in-depth to it as well because you've got your Ultimate Team, which is basically you build your team with cards and play online against people, which is always. I mean, I've played FIFA since they came out, and I'm still not that great online.
Yeah.
But then they've got the career mode, manager mode. You can obviously play couch co-op. They have I think it's called the I don't know how you pronounce it, Volata. It's basically like street football. When we used to get the old FIFA Streets.
Yeah.
And I don't think they sold that well, them FIFA Streets, so now they've sort of integrated it into the actual main FIFA game.
Do they have indoor football?
Yes, so yeah, they've got that. This is like the FIFA Street indoor football.
Cool. I remember that in which one was it on the Mega Drive? FIFA 96, I think it was. I remember playing that, and I loved the indoor football because you could kick the ball into the wall and then score from the wall. Which
this Volata, whatever it's called, is the same. Yeah, so basically, it's like career mode as well on that, so you can travel around the world playing on all these different courts. Indoor, outdoor, but it's like you're in a mesh, so you can bounce off the walls and stuff, and that's only like 3 a side, and it's quite good fun. So there is a bit of in depth here if you're like really into your football, and obviously they sell well because they do them. They do one every year. So
yeah. Oh,
I know last time I came on, I did say I was looking for the next big game I could get my teeth into, and before Watchdogs came out, I downloaded Dishonored 2.
Oh yeah,
because I played the first one, quite enjoyed it. And I remember Colin saying he quite enjoyed Dishonored 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded that and was playing that up until recently. I'm still only about halfway through. Now Watchdogs has come out. It's sort of on the back burner at the minute, but I do want to go in and finish it. They are good games. They're done well graphically, stories, but I don't know, just something I can't get on with it. I think it's because they are designed to be done stealthily. Now, I know you can go in all guns blazing, but I just think that it doesn't make it easy for you if you want to do that. And I just can't, I haven't got the patience or the game skill to do everything. So, be patient and just creep around. And I end up just going in all guns blazing, or I'll try and start a mission doing it, really quiet. But then you just always end up bloody alerting a guard.
Yeah.
And then you just end up just having to kill everyone. So, but I'm still enjoying it. But like I say, though, it's not going to be on the back burner for a bit now. But the trouble is, you can't really afford to have too many games on the back burner when you've only got a bit of storage left, because I think this is like 50 gigs, so it's a bit of a pain in the arse.
It is a pain.
Because I know what'll happen. It'll be like what happened with Watchdogs 1. You think, right, well, I'll delete it for now, and I'll go back to it, and then you forget all about it because it's not on your hard drive. You can't see it, so you forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that's the trouble. And then Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not really. Yeah. Well, I remember them because my sons were really into them. I think it's originally a mobile game.
Okay.
And they were really, really popular. My sons were massive, into them all the time. I don't know how old they are. They must be about 6-7 years old now, these games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they're really popular with like the school kids, and I don't even know if they're supposed to be really designed for that. 'Cause they're jump scare type games.
Right.
And I can't really describe them too much because I've only literally put one on for 5 minutes. And I was basically just in a room. Yeah, well, apparently they are quite good for achievements. And they came on Game Pass, I think, last week. So I thought, I'm just going to try them. And I think you download it and you end up getting I think it's 4 games on there. There's 5 Nights at Freddy's, then 2, 3, 4. So they're 4 separate games and they've all got their own 1,000 gamer scores. So there's like 4,000 achievement there. But like I say, I can't really describe them too much yet because I've not put any time into them. But I will be playing them at some point in the very near future.
Okay. I'm like looking at a video of it, and it's like you're in a room, and then you can look at different cameras around this place.
Yeah, and I think these like little you like, I don't know if you like security guard or something, and you're looking at these cameras, and I think these like little dolls and that move about, and I think they come after you or something. And my son did try and explain it to me. So yeah. I think that's about it, really.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice one. Cheers, Peebs.
Yep.
Interesting. I might check out that 5 Nights at Freddy's, actually. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. Too many games on the go.
Indeed.
Dan. Yeah. And then...
What should I talk about? I'll talk about the new one, I suppose. The newish one, or the demo of the new game I'm going to get.
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demos up on Nintendo eShop now, and it's basically the start of the game. So, and it goes on for quite a while. It's fucking cool. Where do I start? It's like, well, if you ever played Dynasty Warriors, it's a big old map, Hyrule Fields, and it's like a battle's going on. You just charge around, hack and slashing everything in sight. But there's certain events kick off. There's certain barriers to break through, enemies to destroy, characters to switch behind, all done through the Breath of the Wild skin. So all the noises. It looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely amazing. I got really stuck into it. I was playing through it before the podcast, and I've got a bit left to play on it before it obviously goes dead. But it's sweet. It's good. I'm glad to report. It's a lot more because I've got the Fire Emblem one.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but I'm not really familiar with the characters on that. So it's all a bit, who's this bloke with a blue hair? Oh, it's another bloke with a blue hair. I'm confused now. This one, though, obviously you play as Link. You get a new friend. I can't remember her name, but she tags along early on. But there's rumours that you can play, as a Gorgon, a Zora, all sorts of different characters as part of your squad, your team, as you go along, beating the crap out of moblins.
Awesome.
I urge anyone with a Switch to go and give this a go and see what you think. It's kind of got me interested in the other Hyrule Warriors game they've got on it, which is holding its price at the moment. But baby steps at the moment. Let's see. Let's get this main one out of the way later this month, and then then obviously reach back to see whether or not any other games are worth playing in the series. So go and have a look at that. Other things really, just rounding off a bit more Streets of Rage 4. I'm slowly but surely completing the game with all the characters, unlocking everything at the moment on the Switch. I suppose I'm up for 2-player on the Xbox as always at some point, but I don't have everything unlocked on that, which is my main go-to.
Is it exactly the same game on the?
It's exactly the same.
Switch? Yeah,
exactly the same. So there's no real difference. There's no difference at all, really, other than obviously the on the platform it runs on.
I
still prefer it on the Switch because you can carry it around, sort of.
Yeah, handhelds. Handhelds. And on top of that, the Pro Switch controller is much better than the Xbox One, in my opinion. Anyway, it feels better. Well, the one I've got, anyway. So yeah, it's as I said, if I can get a game on the Switch over Xbox, I'd get it on the Switch every single time.
Wow.
That's how I play my games now. I'm afraid. I just want that portability of being able to sit on the loo and play, or lay in bed and play it, or even do the podcast and play it, which I've been doing. I've been doing listening to you guys talk.
That's fair enough. Just like being in a party chat.
It is exactly. Apart from there's less copious swearing and interjecting fart and burp noises, and all sorts of people telling you to be quiet, and you winding Leanne up. That's standard party chat, isn't it, these days?
Yeah.
As I said, Streets of Rage 4. I'm segueing onto that again. So great stuff. One of my favourites this year so far. A little bit more Ni no Kuni, which was $7.99 on the eShop.
Yeah.
I haven't really progressed much since I last spoke to you. I think I put a couple of hours into it. I've been a bit busy this week with sorting my work. Just describe it by work-life balance. Whatever that is going to look like next week, I haven't got a fucking clue. But it's something I want to try and get stuck into at some point. But when the opportunity to get it for $7.99 came around, I think an awful lot of people jumped on it. It was immediately number one in the Switch eShop, which just goes to show how much of a bargain it was. And sometimes you do get these on the eShop. You do get all these sudden, big games discounted heavily.
I was surprised how cheap it was actually on the Switch. If I didn't have it on the PC, I would have bought it again on the Switch because I already own it on the PlayStation.
Well, it depends if exactly. It's one of those games you can't really pick up and play. So I could understand. I mean, if you were to pick up and play a game on multiple formats, like I think I own Overwatch on PlayStation and Xbox, and I was so close to getting it on Nintendo the other day. Then I thought myself, don't do that, you daft bastard.
No.
You're trying to save money, and besides, just go and play your fucking Xbox version, you twat.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like, because with Ni no Kuni, obviously on the PS3 it was amazing, and then it was really cheap on the PC for me a little while ago, and I haven't actually played it on the PC yet. So
sweet.
I think it was actually cheaper on the Switch, though. I think that deal on the Switch was really
it's a good few. It's a few years old now. I know, isn't it?
Yeah,
it was on the PS3.
£7, did you say, something like that?
$7.99.
Yeah.
I did have some gold points. I got about 60p off.
Yes, it's a good price.
Oh man, yeah,
such
definitely.
a long and beautiful game. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few of those going on the go at the moment, and I don't like things with a protracted story because I lose track of stuff, and I've been through this many times before, but it's one game I am really getting into again, and I spoke about it every single week I've been on, is Hades. And once it kind of dumps you in the deep end, off you go, and then once you start getting more powerful and you're regularly going up the levels and trying to escape and get further and further, you start exploring the menus more and working out your strategy and stuff to work on in terms of unlocking and powering up.
Yeah.
And I'm at that stage at the moment, the discovery stage of how the game mechanics behind the top skin work, which is it's so fucking clever. And on top of that, every single time, although you are literally dying and respawning to go back again to redo the levels, there's the whole element of I think someone described it as a dating sim within the game. So there's all sorts of characters you get to know and talk to and butter up by giving them this little kind of gift called ambrosia. So you give it to them, but they divulge more, and you can work up on how they can help you and stuff.
Yeah.
And in between each time you die, you go back to the Hades, House of Hades, where your dad is, and he mocks you and stuff, and you just run around and you talk to all the characters there, and it unfolds the plot. So you always feel like you're progressing, even if you've just died horribly down, quite quickly. And even in the game, when you're going through the dungeons, various gods from Olympus turn up randomly, in fact. And every single playthrough or escape attempt you do is different. You're not retreading the same dungeons because the whole thing kind of rearticulates itself as you go through. So, yeah, I mean, for something really, I think it was only about 20 quid. So, it promises a lot of longevity in it. And then on top of it, I mean, I'm looking at, I've barely scratched the surface on that game. I've got quite far through. I think there's 3 or 4 main areas to get through, and I'm on the second one. I've managed to get to the second one now. And that's I'm still making a good hefty dent on getting through that. But again, it all depends what weapon you choose, what power-ups you get, how long term you kind of work on your stats in between deaths, because some stuff gets deleted every single time you die, other stuff stays permanent. So there's all sorts of different things to articulate in this, but it does require some investment in terms of getting the most out of it. But it's so worth it, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people raving about it. I just too many games to play at the minute.
Not surprised. It's not mad. Surprised. Yeah. I mean, if it would work, it will work on your PC, no problems at all. But to me, it's a perfect handheld game.
Yeah.
It just works, and it's nice, and it's like something you can just pick up, do a couple of run throughs, and I think none the wiser. It's almost like a little bit of a grind to progress, and although you've got the story there, you can go back and recap on stuff if you need to. There's a whole menu about how you've been doing with each character or how you've been, progressing. So yeah, cool, man. Talking about Halloween earlier, there was a couple of Nintendo games had big Halloween events this weekend.
Ooh, spooky! Oh, let me guess, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's Halloween last night. Halloween. I mean, it was a whole month build up to this fucking thing. A whole month I've been collecting candy every fucking day. I've been bloody growing pumpkins, making decorations and shit like that. And obviously it started at 5:00 last night. So after we had the PM announcement about the second lockdown, I thought, oh fuck, I need cheering up. So I went on Animal Crossing, and for all of half hour to an hour I played it. It was a bundle of joy. It was beautiful. You literally just went round, and you had this creepy guy in this pumpkin hat and purple cloak called Jack, and you had to give him lollipops and he'll give you free shit. And I just went round with my 20 plus items of sweets and just gave them to all my villagers, and they gave me shit in return. And then I just got a couple of new emotes and did some scary shit, and then got bored after an hour and a half of doing that, and then I switched it off.
Fair enough.
So what I did first thing this morning, I went around and took down all the fucking Halloween decorations on my island and sold them all and made a fucking fortune.
Nice.
And I bought a shitload of turnips and I stuck them in a patch in the corner. And now it's my island looks a bit more sad and depressing. But I've started farming different types of flowers now. So pumpkin patches. I've got one little pumpkin patch at the top of a map, but I've got rid of the others. And now I'm like farming black roses to get gold roses, and I'm doing purple mums to get green mums. But I've got a whole kind of system on the go, and I've managed to grow a purple rose, so I'm trying to grow more of those. Don't worry, Peebs, it's fine. Don't worry, I'm just slowly losing my mind on this game. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, and there's all sorts of little things to. It's the beginning of November now, so this morning I caught a snow crab when I went diving, and I got a sea cucumber as well, so they went in the museum. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be a December update for Christmas. So there'll be a whole host of stuff to collect and make your fucking island look Christmas and down like I usually do. Done. It's like a proper, like proper Brit. Anyway, it's Boxing Day. Take it all down. Christmas is over.
Put it up on Christmas Eve. Take it down on Boxing Day.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I've got someone on my Facebook who's put their Christmas decorations up already.
Fucking nutter.
Ridiculous.
I'll let them have that joy. Just leave them be, mate.
When I
let them be.
When I lived on my own, I never bothered putting anything up at all. Such a fucking Grinch. Now I have to.
Scrooge.
Yeah.
Same here, mate. I own 0 Christmas decorations. I get about 4 or 5 cards, and they just go up in the top corner on a shelf, and then they obscure everything. Then I'll basically put them in a drawer somewhere or recycle them. Oh well, Christmas, eh?
It's overrated, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
humbug.
So that was Animal Crossing, and then Splatoon 2 has got a Splatfest this weekend, which ends at 10 o'clock tonight, which is about 5 minutes ago. So yeah, I played that this morning. Pwned and Nubs ranked up to level 30, unlocked some shit, and now I'll probably go back and next time I do a Splatfest or when I'm feeling a bit bored, but I only just play the multiplayer on that. It's a nice little team game I can play without having to interact with anyone directly. Don't have to talk or coordinate. I just go and do my own thing, and that's usually upsetting the other team as much as possible. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I'm still playing that a lot. It's all good, and that's really it. Really, is there anything coming up this week in terms of gaming? What have we got coming up? There's something coming up this week.
We have a bit of news, don't we?
What's that?
That Cyberpunk has been delayed.
Thank fuck for that.
Yeah. So what's that? The 10th of December. It's out now.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
People are going mental online. You know, all the internet nerds are sending death threats and all that to the devs, and it's like
ridiculous.
Fucking idiots.
I haven't seen any of those death threats. All I've seen is just I don't know. It's almost as if they're going to die in the next month of COVID or something.
Yeah.
They need to play it now. It's like, mate, you're fine. Don't worry.
Well, apparently, most of the devs for Cyberpunk actually found out about the delay via Twitter.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about that shit, mate.
Oh no, it's pretty mental. But apparently, like, what I find weird about it is they put an announcement saying the game has gone gold, and going gold means it's done and it's ready for the discs to be printed. And now they're saying it's been delayed. So I did a little bit of digging, and what I found is that the PC version is ready to go. So why don't they just release the PC version now and then put the consoles out later when it's done? That's my opinion, but they want to do that at the same time.
Let's play Watchdogs, mate. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but the other thing is, it's the reason it's been delayed is because they can't get the performance. They can't get the performance up on the current gen consoles. So I think for the next gen consoles, it's fine, and obviously PC it's fine. It's just on the current systems are having a lot of issues.
They better get that shit fixed.
Yeah.
It's the only game I've ordered this Christmas. That's on Xbox.
Are you?
What's that?
Oh no, you're not getting this next gen system at launch, are you, Dan?
No, fuck no.
No.
But that's no point.
I'd like to, but can't get one.
I think. I know, Peebs. I think the only person who's getting one is Darren out of our crew.
Yeah.
And he's getting both PS5 and Series X on launch day. So, Peebs, I expect to see you queuing up at midnight at Tesco's for one. Not that you'll be allowed to because of COVID restrictions, but
that's a non-essential item.
Yeah, what about all those guys that ordered their stuff from Smith's to pick up in shop?
So I've seen. I can answer that because I've been on the internet today, funnily enough. And it's the same with game as well. If you've ordered it, if you pay your systems off in full before, I think it's before Thursday, you can just do the collect. You book a time slot and you just go and collect it, the click and collect thing, because they're still going to be allowed at stores. So the people that have ordered at Game and Smiths can still do their click and collect on their systems. So,
in the middle of a shopping centre, you need to get access to the shopping centre. Oh man, I'm just overthinking it. Not that I give a shit.
Yeah, you are
sorry.
overthinking. You just walk in with a mask on, mate, and then go to the shop.
Yeah. And then walk out and then get mugged.
Pretty much. Yeah. So.
Dear me.
So yeah, I think it's only a few weeks till the next gen systems, isn't it? As well, which is pretty
less than 2 weeks. Is it? Was it November the 10th?
Bloody hell, it's 9 days.
Yeah,
I've ordered the PS4 version of Miles Morales, and I just know that game's. I'm just going to know that game's. It's merely a little bit of joy this month. Apart from that, and Hyrule Warriors, I suppose the only 2 bits of joy I'm going to allow myself. But I just know. I mean, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I just know it's going to be like fucking 10 hours long. I mean, the first Spider-Man was I did it in about 23, 25 hours, which was fine, perfect.
Yeah.
But I just know this is going to be like 10 hours long tops, which I'm fine with in my head, I suppose. But I don't know too much about this game just yet. It's all a bit. I know it's Spider-Man. It's basically more of the same. It's DLC essentially. But
yeah.
What is it exactly? How long does it last? Oh.
I don't know. I mean, what I was wanted to say about next gen, it's kind of weird for me, and I know probably the same for a lot of people. It's the first generation I can remember since the original PS2, because I got the PS2 at launch. I've got every console on launch since the PS2, and I'm not getting the systems at launch this time. It's strange. It's a strange feeling because usually it's, I can't wait to get my new console on launch day, and it's either queuing up at midnight or I've ordered online and been disappointed because the online order's been cancelled and it's been a bit of a faff. But like this gen, it's like, I'm not getting a new console at launch. I'm a bit, I don't know.
You got Game Pass. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's a weird generation change.
Just think all those games coming to what's coming to Game Pass? And Tetris Effect. That's about it.
When does the EA thing go over? Is that
same day? I think
same day.
Oh, that's next. Oh, fucking awesome! I can't wait
for that because there's quite a lot on there I like the look of.
Yeah, I want to play Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is actually on there.
UFC games,
Plant vs Zombies.
I think Battlefield 5's on there now as well. So it'd be nice to check that out as well. So I never bought that. Yeah, there's loads of stuff because they just added Day of the Tentacle and Grim Fandango as well, and they're really good classics. If you've not played those,
I've got Grim Fandango on my Switch. I've never touched it.
Oh, nice!
I bought it for less than £1, or at £2.
There's loads of good stuff on Game Pass at the minute, and we'll add in the EA Access. Because on PC there's 2 levels, and obviously, I think they might be. I'm not sure if they're bringing that to console or not. But you got the premium, which is like 80 odd quid a year, and you get all the new games. And then the cheap one, which is the one that's coming with Game Pass, it's kind of their older titles. They kind of go into their vault. And you also get the 10-hour trial as well.
Oh, it's basically what we used to have anyway. So
yeah, so they've changed the name of it now to EA Play, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they've got the most recent Plants vs Zombie game on there, which had mixed reviews, which I wouldn't mind checking out.
Yeah.
I think that's about it really that strikes me. Yeah. I guess. Then again, I'll have a peruse and see what they've got, but. It's just a nice little added bonus. But then, I download all sorts of shit on my Xbox and never fucking play it. So
yeah, there's loads of stuff on there. So it'd just be nice to have it extra. To be fair, yeah. Battlefield 5, Anthem. Ooh, Anthem. Ooh.
It might get a player base now.
Who knows?
Doubt it.
The last piece of news that I have, I don't really think it's newsworthy, really, but it seemed to be something that people are up in arms about, and I don't actually see why. Is obviously Demon's Souls is a launch title on the PS5, but it's not going to have any ray tracing. People are up in arms about it. I'm like, what? It gives a shit. Just enjoy the fucking game. Either games are going to have it or they're not. It's not.
Is there any mirrors? Is there any windows?
Well,
is there any glass?
The technology is it's a nice to have, but it's not necessary for your game. You know.
I mean, everything's covered in shit in that game anyway. Yeah. So you don't really need any kind of reflection.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like because these consoles have been advertised, right? Oh, all your games will be 4K, 120 FPS with ray tracing. It's like no, not all games are going to have all of those features.
I want ray tracing in Peggle too, for fuck's sake.
Oh, it makes me laugh, but there we go. Anyway, should we go to questions? Unless you guys got any other news?
No. Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, so Clarky 79 has sent a few questions. So he's asked me, has the 3080 been worth all the aggro? Oh, I think the thrill of the chase was quite entertaining for a while, but not having anything to play on because I stupidly sold my card beforehand was very frustrating. But yeah, I'm glad I got it, and it's good fun. His other question was, as no one on the poddy will be getting a next-gen console on launch day, which is only a week away now for the Series X, will you miss the feel of the hype train when the new consoles release?
Nope.
Peebs?
Sure answer.
What was the question, sorry?
Oh, fucking hell. You're gaming, aren't you? He says, as no one on the poddy will be getting a next-gen console on launch day, will you miss the feel of the hype train when the new consoles release?
Not really. I mean, I didn't get the last one on launch. This I did want it on launch. Obviously, I just can't get hold of one. But no, it'd be interesting to see how people are. We've got them and what their thoughts, and no doubt they'll all be slagging them off, moaning.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that there'll be an awful lot of stuff on Game Pass for us.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a whole load of goodies. I mean, they have an update. There's an update for Gears 5 coming. Regardless if you're on Xbox Series X or S. So that's good. I mean, I'll check that one out because I do like a bit of Gears 5.
That's still on my hard drive, and I can't remember what it is now, but it's redonk. It's just like, I haven't played it in ages. I keep thinking I'm going to have to delete it off, but I don't know, I'll just leave it on there just for the small chance we all decide we're going to have a go on Horde or something.
Yeah, I like for Horde, as always. But I do go into Horde occasionally and play with randoms, and it's not too bad. They kind of shrunk it down now as well, so it's not as like, you don't do your 50 waves. You do, how many waves is it? It's only about 12 or so.
Oh, really?
They ramp up really quickly. There was that capability on it. So, and you do level up quite nicely off the back of it. So, man, yeah.
That was the trouble with Horde. I did like it, but obviously you need to set aside half a day to try and complete it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's far too long.
Yeah, because you can't go off and have a cup of tea or your dinner halfway through, can you,
Totally.
No. Just go and hide in a corner.
That's it. I mean, for me, I will miss the hype train a little bit because it's like, when something comes out, there's that initial week or two where everyone's just talking about it all the time. I think that's going to be the hard week or two for me because I'm always on the social media. I want to see what's what and watching, all the Digital Foundry videos and all that. That's what I enjoy doing in my spare time. And I'm a bit weird like that.
We found that out to the evening.
Yeah, but then after a week or two, that hype dies down, and then you just kind of get into like that mellow zone. It's like when a new game comes out, you let it die off for a week or two, and no one's talking about it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I know because normally in the past, when these new consoles have come out, they've always come out with a big game, haven't they? And they haven't done that this time, which is odd because obviously you've got Valhalla, I guess, but obviously Watchdogs Legion. Why don't they just postpone that for a couple of weeks and have that as like a big game to come out with the new console? You'd have had that and Valhalla then, two good big games.
Well, I think Halo's having a lot of issues because I saw in the news today that they've lost another high-end person on the team.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or something. Yeah.
It kind of says to me that they've got a rough build of the game, but it's just not up to speed. they created a rod for not back, I guess, on this. It's got to be super duper shiny, and it's not there yet. So, I mean, whatever we do get will be super polished. You just know that, don't you?
Well, I hope so, because I mean, it looks like it's gone through multiple teams internally, multiple different engines. They showed the gameplay at that event, and everyone was saying how crap it looked compared to Halo 5. I'm just hoping it's not a hot mess, to be honest. I'm actually quite concerned about the state that the new Halo is going to come out in, to be fair. I mean, you look at...
Be on Game Pass, it'd be fine.
Well, you look at Master Chief Collection, it took them like 3 or 4 years just to get the multiplayer working properly.
And on top of that, what it's going, come day launch on the Xbox Series X, they're doing all sorts of gubbins to it. Yeah. Like 120 frames per second, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all sorts they're adding to it. So, at least you'll get some premium Halo, I guess, come launch day, which is it's kind of exciting for some people, I guess. For me, it's just, okay, it's Halo.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love the Halo series, but as soon as it went to 343, it's just kind of gone downhill, So it's a shame. But because it used to be the pinnacle of the console shooter, but it's kind of been overthrown now, shall we say? So yes, yeah. Anyway, where were we on Clarky's question? Weren't we? So yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get. I do want to get a PS5 at some point, because I've seen some stuff today about Final Fantasy 16, which looks quite awesome. Like some of the in-game.
It's called Clive, man. He's called Clive.
What? What are you on about, Clive?
The lead character is called Clive.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the name Clive. No, I didn't see that actually. But nothing wrong with Clive.
I just thought it was a bit odd. That's all.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weird name, but there we go. And the map.
But not a weird name, but it's a bit odd for like a metrosexual Japanese RPG game.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just a bit, you'd be like Clem or something like Clements or something like that.
Clive has got to be one of them names. I think I read an article a while back that said certain names are going to be extinct, like Gary and Ian. These sort of names that were I mean, my generation, like ours, Dan, is like they're all Marks, Steves, Andys, Ians. It's just like different eras have all different. Different. They were sort of popular at the time, and then obviously now with the young kids, it's all some of the old-fashioned names are all coming back, and they like Jack and things like that, and they just have these phases.
Names.
Yeah, but yeah, Gary is going to be extinct, they reckon, by a certain. I can't remember what year they said, but there's no one's naming.
I'll keep my mate Gary alive. Don't worry, he'll be keep him alive. Don't die, Gary.
Oh dear. Clarky put a question just while we're on Clarky. He put something into our Twitch chat saying, "Have you heard about AC Bongos? He's being chucked out of the US because he's got visa problems."
Well, he's not Mexican, is he?
Well, I don't think the Yanks really like British immigrants either, do they?
I don't know, man. I saw that briefly on his Twitter bio, but I didn't really read into it at all. But I mean, just read around the lines, I guess. I mean, I don't speculate this kind of thing, but I mean, at the moment we've got COVID, and there's all sorts of immigration stuff going on, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've basically just gone, "No, mate, not today," because imports, exports, COVID and shit.
Oh, I've just seen his Twitter actually. Yeah, visa issues. That's weird, because I would have thought working for a big company like Microsoft, they would have sorted that all out for him.
Yeah, don't they know who he is?
Don't know who he is. Yeah, I think it's an inside job by Major Nelson, because AC was taking all his screen time.
Yeah, he doesn't like being upstage. That Major boring.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I know that from experience. Fucker.
Yeah. I should have given him a proper slap, Dan.
I'm too tired. Seriously, mate.
You're probably too pissed as well.
Yeah, I may be a bit hungover and drunk when I saw him. He wasn't. Just because you fly from West Coast to East Coast, mate, doesn't make you fucking special. Anyway, carry on.
Hogarth says, with Ubisoft kicking out 2 massive games within 12 days of each other, with Watchdogs and Assassin's Creed, Are some games just too big and too long now? Yes.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. It also depends on, I suppose, different types of player. I suppose are they expecting different markets for these games? Obviously, they've done their research. I mean, to us, it's a no-brainer. They kind of fit together. I mean, if you play one, you probably play the other. But maybe they know better. Maybe they've done their research, because it doesn't make much sense. It's like, why would a film distribution company release two of their biggest blockbusters, that close together, when obviously you'd be eating into your market? So we'll see. Maybe they've realised it works a little bit better, I suppose, in terms of these new consoles coming out as well. So it makes sense to have them out all together. So it's fresh in people's mind that they get one and then sit on the other. I don't know. It's all a bit. He's got a point, because it doesn't make much logical sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, because I'm not gonna. I'd only buy one. Now I'm gonna wait for Valhalla, and probably wait for it to go in the sale.
Oh yeah, it will do
at some point.
Coming soon, £14 in CD keys.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I've still got to play the Odyssey one.
Well, that's the thing, man.
You don't really have to play them in order, do you? Because they don't really, or do they?
Odyssey was too long. It was far too long. I mean, I got to a point at about...
Did you complete it?
No, I got to a point where it was about 40 hours plus, and I finished the main storyline, shall we say. But there was loads of other stuff to do, and I was just like, I got to that point, and I was like, I'm done.
Done this shit. Fuck this shit.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, that game was just too big. It was just too big. I mean, if I was, single man, early 20s, with loads of time on my hands,
but you still game more than most single blokes.
Oh yeah, I think you game more than me these days, Peebs.
I don't know about that.
I think you do. I think you do. I think Colin gets more gaming time than me.
In all fairness, Webby, he has a social life in his own house.
I know. He's always on the piss.
In his own house.
I know.
But
listening to 80s music. Anyway.
I don't know whether I'll subscribe to this that game's too big, because obviously, games are getting more expensive, and the rumours are these on the new consoles are going to be like 60, 70 quid, aren't they? But so you want your money's worth. So the bigger, some people might say, the better, because you're getting more hours out of it. And Odyssey is obviously a big game. I haven't played it myself, but that's because there's loads of side missions, I'm guessing. So just concentrate on the main missions if you want to rinse through it.
You can't, because you have to level up your character to certain levels to progress as well. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So sometimes, Peebs, it's quality over quantity that matters.
It's a bit like if you go to a shop and buy a big bag of oven chips on the cheap, sure enough, you're getting a load of oven chips, but they're all shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
I see it. You've gone for Lidl value instead of McCain,
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, these days I do really. I mean, you remember in the 360 era, we had so many 8-hour single-player campaign experiences. Oh man, that was the pinnacle. I loved it. Could bang out so many games. Now it's like, oh my god, 3 months later, I'm still playing this fucking game. What am I doing with my life?
I've got a rule: if I'm not having fun, I'll stop playing it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I know. It means I've got so many fucking unfinished games, mate.
My backlog is just fucking insane. I'm still buying games all the time. It's an addiction.
Of course it is. We've spoke about this many years.
I know.
Many years. It's never been solved.
I know. It's fucking nuts. I'm spending a lot less money than I used to. I've got to buy clothes for children now, and so I've got to kind of, spend money there. But look at that backlog, and I'm just fuck. And then a Steam sale happens, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just get that, and I'll never fucking play them.
Oh well, that's a problem. That's a nice problem to have, I guess. Or is it? At least you can afford it, I guess.
Yeah. Love those cheap games. Anyway, Goon Rider asks, what's your thoughts on AMD's new graphics card offering? Is it worth switching? I'm very tempted. So AMD, the big competitor to NVIDIA in the PC space, but AMD also make the graphics cards and CPUs for the consoles. as well. So they actually, they're a big company. They make a hell of a lot of money. Their new CPUs are, people would argue, are outperforming Intel, which is a big thing. And these new cards that they've just announced, because in the PC space, Nvidia have always been the creme de la creme. But these new cards that they've announced, according to AMD, we haven't actually seen any third-party benchmarks. They're pretty much on par with the latest Nvidia cards, and at a very decent price point as well. So, it's hard to say, man, because I have a G-Sync monitor, so that only works with NVIDIA graphics cards. So I would stick with NVIDIA because of my monitor. But then other people would be like, well, I don't have FreeSync or G-Sync anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a tough call. I mean, it depends. I mean, the performances are very similar, so it's all down to just personal preference, really. You'd probably end up spending a bit less money if you went all AMD in the PC space, to be honest. But yeah, that's my take. And I've sent everyone to sleep. Okay.
Yeah, did you understand that, Peebs? Because I didn't.
No.
Okay. Ian Stewart on Facebook says, our fanboy levels at an all-time high. We have a laugh about PC Master Race, but some of the stuff I'm seeing just now, before most people have even played a PS5 or Series X, is ridiculous. Just get whatever one you like and enjoy it for what it is. Some trolls seem to enjoy picking holes in things more than they actually like playing games.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't really see much of it, to be honest with you, because I tend to block people like that, and I haven't really come across them on the internet that much.
Well, it makes me laugh because on Twitter, I mean, Twitter's a cesspool. Whenever Xbox or Microsoft put a tweet out, the comments are just full of fanboys from either platform going, "Oh, PlayStation's bad. Oh, the Xbox is bad." And I'm sitting there just like, why? It's been like that since the days of I remember back in the school playground with Sega versus Nintendo. I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's just moved on to an online platform.
I suppose it's like that with football teams, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. People like tribes, don't they? Human race is conditioned to be tribal.
Yeah,
it's my team versus theirs. So
well, just look at American politics and now UK politics, and that's all I'm going to say. But it's getting into every walk of life, isn't it?
I think we're all in solidarity with this lockdown at the moment. We'll get through it with a grin on our face and a sad and sorry heart inside all of us, slowly dying inside of depression and sadness.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Solidarity.
Yeah, but just going back to console wars, I think it's people just want to justify their purchase. I think that's a lot of it.
Of course it is. It's reaffirming, isn't it? I've made the right choice. I like this. Yeah, I don't. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. You just need. I think some people need to learn to admit them. If that makes sense.
But I don't think with this gen and next gen there isn't a bad console. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to buy that new Atari that they're bringing out. But if you're an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo console, they're all good.
I'm looking because there's rumours of like Nintendo upgrading the Switch in the new year to a new model, or I'm guessing it'll be like a Switch 2.0, whatever they call it, 2.5 or 1.5, where there's talk of upscaling to 4K, which doesn't mean much to me at the moment, but what it does mean is that it gives me potentially a new bit of kit to get stuck into, because Nintendo would be foolish to announce a brand new system rather than stick what they've got right now with all the peripherals and what works, and have this kind of two-tier element as well. Because what Nintendo have proven is that, fair enough, we're getting loads of souped-up 360 and PS3 games, but the first-party stuff is still second to none.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's keep that ecosystem going, I guess, and go with that. And people can pick and choose what format they want, much like Xbox have done. I'm pretty sure what Nintendo were aiming at, and it makes sense. And I'll be there pre-ordering that shit because I'll be happily pay 300-400 quid for a brand new model of Switch with all the latest gubbins and all sorts of stuff added on.
Well, it's nice having that new shine and giving an excuse to buy a new TV as well, Dan.
Oh yeah, it gives me a chance to, obviously, this Switch I've had since day one. I use it all the time, and I've noticed the battery not getting,
I can imagine.
getting a hammering.
Yeah,
but it's still with me. It still works. Touch wood. Now I said that, I'm fucking jinxed it, and I.
Yeah, one good thing that I like is obviously Microsoft have already said that all the Xbox games are coming to PC, which is nice. So I don't waste money buying another console. But there's a lot more rumors going around the internet that PlayStation are going to do the same as well. They're going to release all their PS5 exclusives to the PC as well. So big quid's in, man.
Well, just wait. I mean, there'll be an awful lot of PS5s games being flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, I remember that with Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, so funny. But
I'm not sure if they was taking the mick or not. I really couldn't tell.
I think people got that angry. I don't get that. But I'm still going to buy a PS5 when Final Fantasy 16 launches. I'm going to get them on the same day.
Well, yeah, just be. How do I say? I'd make your plan for getting that sooner rather than later.
No, man. I mean, I don't think the game Final Fantasy 16 is not going to be out for at least a year or two.
They said next year.
Is it out next year?
Apparently so. Sooner rather than later.
Oh, I'll just get them on the same day. It's fine.
Yeah,
be fine. Probably be like next Christmas.
Yeah, well, they might have a slim version of the PS5 by then.
Well, I hope so.
Excuse me, bless me.
Fucking ugly as shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Everyone's saying it's very. There's been all sorts of stories I've seen on the internet about it overheating by locking it away in a cabinet, because it literally is that child you keep upstairs in the attic, isn't it? Or under the stairs. And there's no ventilation in these places, so it keeps cutting out. It's but it is. Just looking at it, seriously, it is. I mean, if you have it in my room, I would have to have it on the floor next to the cabinet.
Yeah.
Just standing up. I can't have it next to the TV because I can't. It's not enough room for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well. Never mind. I mean, as I said, there'll be a slim version soon.
Yeah.
Maybe, I would hope.
I've seen some pictures of the PS5 in some TV cabinets, and it just looks fucking awful. I was just trying to find a picture, but I can't. Oh, there's one. Yeah. I've just looked. Final Fantasy 16. There's no release date. Rumors are 2022. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Little while yet. Yeah. So it's cool. Where were we? Oh yeah, Nikki Wilson. So it turns out Demon's Souls on PS5 can't do ray tracing. Halo Infinite has been delayed because it can't do 120 FPS. Are the new consoles a bit wank, or should we wait for the inevitable Pro versions?
I think the Pro. Well, are the consoles wank? I don't know. Maybe it's just that they're not used to all the consoles yet. I mean, I don't think, as we were saying earlier, I don't think Demon's Souls was a technical issue in terms of ray tracing. It was more probably doesn't need it. You know, it's and I think we've covered to an extent the problems with Halo. I mean, it is an ambitious program stretching out across multiple different past and present Xbox formats.
Yeah.
So that's the issue that regard. So once the teams, I guess, get used to doing this kind of thing for the next couple of years, it's only for the next couple of years, because obviously the old Xbox One and the Xbox Xbox One X will be discontinued at some point. But you're going to have this kind of issue going forward, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I don't think it's the hardware. It's obviously the expectations of what the bigwigs have said they want their systems to do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's I don't know.
Oh well, I wouldn't get sad about it.
I think the new consoles are going to be decent. I think they're going to pump out some quality games, and I just think people's expectations have been set a little bit too high, to be honest with you. I think games will look and run nice anyway, and people just stop to. I know it's difficult, but people just need to stop looking at the at the numbers and just enjoy the games. And I know I'm very guilty of that. And sometimes I just have to sit back and think, I've just got to enjoy this game and stop fucking around and worrying about things.
Yes, stop fucking around with the settings.
Well, once they're done, it's done. But yeah, on consoles especially, it's just like, don't worry about it, just enjoy it, you know?
I think, what was I? My brain's just gone fucking skew with there. What was I thinking? Carry on, mate. I forgot.
Ben Hughes, this is the last question, by the way. Ben Hughes says, what do you think PC gaming is still relevant with the cost increases? And it's more popular than ever. They were saying that PC gaming was going to die years ago, and it's more popular than ever at the moment. And he asked, what's the best mid-range setup to go for in the coming months? I'm not going to answer that because it'll take me too fucking long, and I'll send people to sleep. So I'll send you a message, mate. Okay.
Is it worth listening to the previous podcast when you had all your PC nerd friends on?
Yeah, that was a good episode, actually.
I started listening to it and then I turned it off.
No
offense, just obviously I'm not into the PC stuff, so
yeah. It was quite interesting that episode because we talked about our transition from console to PC and our thoughts and what happened and blah blah blah. Yeah, so I thought it was quite interesting conversations, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I know you're not into it, so that's fine. I'll let you off. Cool. Anything else you guys want to mention before we end?
No, man.
I don't think so.
Cool. Anything else from Twitch? If not, we're gonna end it here. I'm guessing that's
that's it. Last call.
Last orders at the bar.
It's gone past 10 o'clock. You're breaking the law.
That's it. All right then, guys. We're going to end it here. Thanks for coming on, Dan and Peebs. It's been awesome.
No worries, man.
And look forward to hopefully getting lots of gaming in the coming week. So for me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSND, Steam ID, Webby, 360G.
Chivo Ho Residente, Mr. Peebs.
Awesome.
Cinema Dan. I am awesome, thank you.
Awesome, Cinema Dan. What was I going to say? Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/360gamercast. It's awesome. Sign up and you get a show every single week instead of every 2 weeks.
Is this the full fat one? This is not going to Patreon, is it?
Yeah, this is normal. Yeah.
Oh, we actually get listened to. We actually feel like we've done some work. Well,
yeah.
As opposed to 11 people listening in.
Join the Discord, everybody. The Discord's awesome. The link's in the show notes. You can find us on Twitter, 360gamercast. Same with Facebook, 360gamercast. All the links are on the website, 360gamercast.com. That's the end. So thank you very much. We will see you next week. If you're a Patreon subscriber, goodbye.
Thanks for listening to 360 Gamercast. And remember, next time the boss isn't around, join us in the forums at 360gamercast.com.